Valve announces the Stream Deck is a $400 handheld PC. Now, we are going to tread very lightly on. I'm just kidding. What is it? Valve has finally unveiled the Steam Deck. It is slightly larger than Nintendo Switch. It runs SteamOS, so you'll be able to play all of your Steam games from your library. Okay, that's huge. It does have a console-like interface, but you'll actually be able to access an unrestricted computer desktop. So you'll be able to actually use it just like a PC. People who were testing it were able to run Jedi Fallen Order at high settings. And that's a fairly newer game, right? It has 2 trackpads underneath the thumbsticks. I don't know if you knew that, but that's freaking cool. If you're using... What's that?
Well, yeah, you were going to explain what it was.
Yeah, so basically the trackpads are right underneath the thumb pads or thumbsticks, and that's what you would use to control your mouse if you're using the PC part of it.
All right.
Right? It has Bluetooth support, obviously, so you can use any type of headset, keyboard, mouse, The cool part is it could be docked just like the Switch. You just have to connect it via USB-C and you're boom. Valve will sell its own dock. You can buy separately, but you don't need to use its dock. You can buy a third-party one if you need to. The base version of this is going to be 64 gigs of storage at $400. That's huge. That's big right there. If you want the $529 and $640 model, it's going to offer more storage and faster SSDs. So it's going to be a little bit quicker if you bump up. For storage, though, you just use micro SD cards to pop it in. That's another huge thing. That's great because they're so inexpensive. Yeah, you could buy freaking bajillion, gigs, and it won't cost you that much money. Okay, Kelv, I said a lot. What do you think of this thing?
Well, I think this is a lot more appealing than the One X player.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We talked about that a couple episodes ago. And I think... Yeah, check that video out. We got rimmed for it for some reason. I don't know why, because we didn't follow the same opinions. But whatever. This was interesting. It just came out of nowhere, just out of the blue, right? Steam coming out with an actual handheld console, that's huge, right? Mm-hmm. And based off of the specs, we don't have specs, but based off of all the details that we have right now, the pricing for one is reasonable. It's not bad.
$400, you're getting into, again, you have something we'll talk about this in a sec, but the Switch OLED, which is $350.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at spec wise, this thing is blowing it out of the water for
right.
$50 more.
But now the only thing is 64 gigs for $400. Now, I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if that's going to be enough for the type of gaming that you're going to be using
Well, consider that you can just buy a little tiny SD card, the little micro SDs,
right?
And those are so cheap. You can get a freaking big one off of Amazon for $20.
Exactly. So that change. So that's when it changes things. So whatever you're getting base model for, $400 for 64 gigabytes is not terrible. And then the fact that you can change your SD card at any time with they're super cheap, like you said, it really makes this appealing, right? If I were anybody, I would probably jump up the price to the 529 model just to get the extra storage space and then just the faster SSD drive. So this is enticing. I'm really interested in this. The fact that we were just talking about Persona, right? Can you imagine they announced in one of those Persona lists there, the announcements they'll have Persona 6 or Persona 5 coming PC, and you can just play it on your, what is this called? Steam Deck? That.
If they release Persona 5 to the Steam store, we'll be able to play Persona on your handheld.
On handheld, yeah.
I don't know so much about battery life, though. I didn't really see anything concerning battery life.
Well, you can bet your ass that it's very bad.
It has all that tech in there. It's not going to be great,
yeah.
It's touchscreen too. I don't know if you knew that, but it is touchscreen as well.
It is, yeah. I did see the trailer for it. It looked cool. It looked like everything you need to, to kind of start off with a handheld device, especially with that power. And I think I don't know. I think this is, again, way better than what the One X player is trying to sell. What do you think?
I think so too, man. I even say this is almost better than what the Switch OLED is trying to sell.
Right? I kind of agree with you there. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
50 more bucks, I get access to all of my Steam games on the go. And if I'm not playing like super graphically intense games, it's gonna be fine. And I have a PC. Like
Right.
I have a PC, so I can just plop it in. Like if I'm like away somewhere,
Like a Switch. Yeah.
I could even dock it, and I can use keyboard and mouse if I want to. Mm-hmm. So I could put Discord on it.
Yeah. You don't have to
You know
like.
what I mean?
That's the thing. Like that. The fact that it talks to your PC, essentially it's a PC on the go, is what really is, and the pricing.
You switch the interfaces, right? Like it has like a console like interface on the Steam OS, but then
Yes.
you can switch it to a Linux based operating
Exactly.
system where you have your apps
Exactly.
and your programs and stuff.
And it again, like you said, it plays like a Switch where you dock it into this dock, and then it just transfers over to your screen, to your monitor, and then you can play any Steam game that you have currently downloaded. Like I think it's super convenient, and I wouldn't be raving about this if the price wasn't appropriate,
So,
but the price
yeah.
is very appropriate. You know what I mean? It seems like this would be something that I would gravitate towards. And now I'm like, all right, well, I try to get the Switch, right? We'll talk about that in next topic. But do I really want to spend the $350 for the Switch, or do I want to wait for a Steam Deck that I would probably use way more? And who knows, like, what's to come after that? Like, I think this would be a little bit more of a better choice, right?
Exactly. It's almost like a more practical choice too, because again, you have that ability to use it as a PC. Like that's so cool to me. I love that.
I think about us playing Call of Duty. Like, I don't need to be, I don't need to be. Well, I don't know. Would that work with like? Is it just for Steam? Your Steam account?
No, you can download like Battle.net. You could download
Okay.
Epic Game Store launcher. You can
I
download all
figured.
launchers you want. It'll
Alright.
work.
Yeah, I figured. Okay.
It's just the Steam OS is its native OS. So.
For sure. Okay. Yeah. So can you imagine? Like, I'm upstairs just playing Call of Duty with you, and like we're running at pretty good settings. Now, what's the resolution on the screen? We don't know that yet, right? Like, what does it run?
I got some specs here. Yeah, the resolution is 1280 by 800, so nothing crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a 60 hertz LCD screen. It uses the RDNA GPU, and it has 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM. So,
all right. When you talk
again,
about the specs, it's okay. It's good, for what we're
it is.
what we're
But
talking
it's
about, right?
how what you can do with it, right? Yeah. That's what makes it appealing. Like if you couldn't use it as a PC, then I'd be like,
Yeah. So I'm excited. That's cool. And this is coming out this year, right? Holiday, 2021.
Do you think it's gonna sell out like that, or do you think people are not gonna be as?
I mean, I think
It's not as mainstream as the other consoles.
it's not. Yeah.
So,
I think it will do fairly well, and I think some people will kind of wait and see how it plays out. And I think in the long run it should do well based off of what I'm seeing here. It's just a matter of how they support it in the future,
So interesting. If you get the $649 model, it comes with a anti-glare etched glass treatment. So that's pretty nice. So if you're playing the sun, you'll get that glare. That
Cool.
you know.
I'm interested to see the battery life too. So they don't say anything about the battery.
I want to see more reviews of this popping up. We'll see them. People get first-hand look and feel it. But this might be something that we might consider, right?
I'm again, like I said, I'm more gravitating towards this than the One X player. Like I know spec wise it's a little different, but this is probably like my handheld to go if I'm talking about like PC stuff. You know what I mean? And who knows? I'll probably get the Switch too. Fuck it.
So, guys, if you're watching, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think of the Stream Deck. If you're interested to get one, or do you think it's not worth? It's not gonna be along with the Switch or the One X player, right? Give us your thoughts, and if you're listening, send us a tweet.
Yeah.
Kelvin,
Tweet us.
last tweet us.